Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Gaming Matters podcast, where we talk with real people about the real impact gaming has had on their lives, hosted by me, David White. I'm joined today by Salsasaurus, the variety streamer who won't play Fortnite, from twitch.tv/Salsasaurus. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing
I'm
pretty good.
sorry. I can't help but laugh at the at the little added bit about Fortnite.
Well, I like to add a little bit about each person I bring in, and that's kind of like your thing.
I mean, it is fair enough. Fair enough.
So, how did you get into gaming?
Oh God, how I got into gaming. I guess that credit goes to my father, who let me sneak down and play his PS2 in the middle of the night. And then he gave his old systems to my grandparents, and then we actually got into it at our grandparents' house. Me and my two cousins, we would have competitive. God, I don't remember the name of the game. It was like Pummel Party, but like old school, and Pac-Man. I don't remember the name of the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
But
of it, what it would be, but I don't know a whole lot of PS2 games.
yeah, I don't know what it was, but it started with the PS2 and my father and Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Dex, Pac-Man, whatever it was called. That was the start. That was the start.
Awesome. So, I know you're known for being a variety streamer, but is there any games like you focus on that you play now? Like, is there anything you're really into right now?
Wouldn't say I'm really into anything, but I have a couple games I'm like in like I have a couple games I'd love to play right now. Like Hunt Showdown's one of those right now where I could probably play Hunt for 20 hours a day and be perfectly content. Other than that, there's really not really much. Kind of just waiting for my Star Wars Starfighter to come out.
Oh yeah, I saw that game. That's basically like the part that they didn't add into Battlefront 2, made into its own $60 game.
Well, it's in Star Wars Battlefront 2, but it's gonna be the space part, except it's gonna be like super hyper competitive, and EA is actually being nice this time, and it's only $40 at launch
Oh, that's
for
good.
once. I know, that's huge. Love it.
Yeah, EA has been kind of off and on about the Star Wars games. Sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're Star Wars Battlefront 2 at launch.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to appease a fan base that already yells at each other for every movie that comes out too. So
Yeah, that too. But I was talking more about the loot box stuff.
Oh, the loot boxes. Loot boxes. I mean, you can criticize them for doing it at launch, but what they did with Battlefront 2, when they got rid of them and
Yeah.
they focused on the content, they did a great job turning that game around.
Oh,
Too.
definitely.
100%.
So this might be the hardest question you'll be hearing from me today. And it'll require some thought.
Oh boy, I like thought.
What game would you say has had the biggest impact on you and why?
Oh wow, that's a kicker.
Yeah.
You know what? As hard as the question seems, it's actually not that hard because I actually talked about it. It's actually an example I use to compare to. So I think the game that has had the biggest impact on me would actually be one of my first that I talked about earlier, which would be 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2. And this is mainly because, uh, you know, everyone's got their own demons that they live with every day. I was bullied, and at the time I was playing Battlefront 2. I was at a school that eventually I would be kicked out because it just got that bad. I didn't get kicked out, but I was moved schools because it was just that bad. Um, so Battlefront 2 was kind of like this uh, learning of how to get away from the world. So it was kind of this paradise because I was like 8, 9 years old and just figuring out like all these nerdy things that was gonna erupt into the nerdosaurus that you see today. But so being able to come home and just launch up a playlist of playing Star Wars over however many maps and galaxies, just sit down, instant action it up, and being able to do that every day was it changed my life. Being able to do that.
Yeah, I used to play Star Wars like the original with some of
Mm,
my friends in high school, so I can definitely relate to it being a really good content
uh,
filled escape.
yeah, yeah. It's just it was a good game, and uh, for a kid that only really had his I don't know his other worlds like Star Wars and Marvel, really helped.
Yeah, escapism is great. So now I kind of want to talk about your content. Your
Okay,
You do streaming on Twitch. You're a variety broadcaster.
I do.
So how did you all get started? I know you started on Mixer. Rip.
Oh God, how I got started. So it actually this is one of the more embarrassing and more because a lot of people would hear this and be like, "Wow, you never really actually wanted to do this." So streaming for me actually started as a joke, uh, believe it or not. It started with a bet and playing PUBG because so I started summer of 2018. I had just quit ARC for the final time, and most of my high school life. So I graduated in 2016. And so most of my high school life and the 2 years after were just kind of like figuring life out. And so 2018 kind of was this weird year for me. And so I don't remember who it was. It might be someone that's in the channel today, but it might not be. But someone said that someone just brought up, hey, you should stream one day. Why not? I think it was more just because I still like today never shut up. That except they just had to constantly listen to me in a party those days. So I just started streaming PUBG one day, and at the time I just streamed PUBG. I came home and from work because I used to work at the zoo back then. And I came home from work every day and I would sit down on my couch and I would stream PUBG to 0 viewers for probably about the first 3 or 4 weeks. My heart really wasn't into it. Um, then I called July 14th my start. So July 14th, I just kind of like said, you know what? We're actually going to try this. We're going to put our head down and we're going to go at it and we're going to see what happens. And then that's about when I pulled off PUBG. So probably about 3 weeks after I really started. I pulled off PUBG and I started doing some variety. Like I think I played J World at the time. I think I played Star Wars still, and just kind of went for it.
And that was on Mixer, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, at the time, I split streamed. So
Oh.
at the start, I did 3 days. I think I did Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I did on Mixer, and I think I did Tuesday, Thursday on Twitch. And I did that probably up until, oh God, I think maybe September. And then I chose Mixer to just go all the way in.
Curious why you made that decision.
Being an honest person, it was because I was new to the whole thing, and Mixer was just simply where it was just a matter of perspective. I was growing, and I had a community on Mixer, whereas Twitch was nowhere close yet.
That makes sense.
So it was more of a just.
You just go where the audience is.
Yeah, it was more of a, I was just starting out content creator. One site had an audience, one site didn't. Off you pop.
So, since we are talking about Mixer, what were your feelings whenever you heard that Mixer was going to be shut down in about a month ago?
Oh, that one's harder than the game one. I don't know. It was kind of. I don't want to. I don't know if it's the right word, but I think closure is a good one. Um, anyone who watched my streams on Mixer knew I kind of felt trapped on Mixer. And I was one of the people who kind of sensed it going downhill for a while. So when Mixer finally got the boot, it wasn't as a shock that it happened. It was more in the way that it happened that kind of I think that's the way that's why everyone's kind of feeling it how they feel, because we pretty much, like, I said it, I think I tweeted about it. This is the only time I've ever been broken up with via text. And Microsoft did it to me. Microsoft broke up with me over text, and then I woke up, and then I was sold to Facebook. So that's a whole different topic. But I mean, so it was more closure to me because it was kind of concluding that, because I really started beating myself up over my content, and a lot of people knew variety was kind of going downhill for a while on Mixer, and so I think when Mixer finally got shut down for me, I think it was more closure than anything, knowing that I had now it was the start of a new chapter. It was taking the past 2 years, and proving I learned something in 2 years and being able to do it all again. So I think it was more closure than anything. I was frustrated, like I said earlier. Being broken up with via text for the first time ever is going to make anyone salty. But
no doubt.
Yeah, I think it was more closure than anything.
All right. Have you seen the? I think it was literally just announced yesterday. Are you familiar with its WASD?
I am familiar with WASD. I have never talked to WASD, but I am familiar.
She and the guy who made Pixel Chat made a farewell address to Mixer at it's literally just farewellmixer.com.
I have not.
Yeah, it was shared quite a bit by the Mixer streamers I follow on Twitter. So just wanted to let you know that is a thing.
Yeah, I've kind of just let it happen. After a couple of things I saw that was going on the past couple of days, on the final days of Mixer, I kind of just like, all right, time to take a break from Twitter.
Yeah, I get that. I completely get that. All the feels coming back.
Yeah. Because it's hard, some, and everyone's got their own way of dealing with it. But essentially, however many years you streamed on Mixer, you don't really have that time poof. But it's hard. It's hard having to. You're not really essentially restarting because we have our communities and all that, but it's hard to process that the past 2 years of your life are no longer represented by one solid number. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. I think Mixer is still up right now for some reason, even though they said they would be closing it down yesterday.
I think they are they're procedurally taking it down. So like they're gonna take the search bar first and then stuff like that.
Oh.
That's what I think.
Well, that would make sense. Instead
because
of just shutting everything down all at once.
Because it's not shutting down, it's just redirecting to Facebook. So
yeah. For reference, this is being recorded on the 23rd, the day after Mixer's official closure date.
I think it also had to be in all time zones. It was the 23rd too, so they might have like just started working on it. Who knows?
Yeah, that's another thought that went through my head. Like maybe they are just waiting until it's not the 22nd in some places of the world.
Yeah.
So how would you say your transition has been going along?
I've loved my transition. It's definitely a mental jump. It requires a whole new mental thing that I don't think anyone can. I think if you can say you were prepared to basically get your eviction notice on June 22nd, and you had to move your crazy family of however many community members, you had 30 days to get everybody, let everybody know. I think anybody who says they were mentally prepared for that, I think you might be telling a tall tale. But I mean, I think my transition's going pretty good. I had actually started moving. So that weekend before that dreadful Monday that we all remember, I had actually started moving my weekends along with a lot of the other variety streamers on Mixer. I had started moving my weekends over to Twitch. So that had actually been my first weekend. So, and I actually had a lot of friends. A lot of my old network friends had already moved in the winter. So it wasn't as hard for me to do it because like I knew I was going in there with friends that I hadn't seen or got to talk to in a long time or interact with as much because we were on different platforms. So it was pretty good. And, it's been a hard switch, but it's been fun. It's been invigorating, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. 100%.
That is awesome. Well, I'm glad it's going well for you. Making the best out of a bad situation, to say the least.
Oh yeah, you gotta do in life. Life gives you a rotten apple and you turn it into an apple tree.
Exactly. You gotta have a positive attitude in this business. So as a variety streamer, why do you refuse to play Fortnite?
I guess I should have expected this one. Oh god, as a variety streamer, I do it because there are literally thousands of people who play Fortnite. So when I started streaming, I made a promise to myself. Not only would I stay true to who I am as a person, which is why I sometimes make decisions that are more for my own morals than that would make sense. But when I started streaming, I made a promise I would be different. I would do something that I would try to do something to stick out from the crowd, even if it was the hardest road, like climbing up Mount Everest with one hand and one leg tied behind my back. So obviously, when you have this universal game that is just 10 times more popular than um than any other game. It's obviously one of the easier ways or easier roads to travel. So that was one reason. The other reason is my personal distaste for Epic. And that's just a long feud between that. They shut down a old MOBA that I used to love and play. Paragon. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I only heard of it whenever they shut it down.
Oh, it was a beautiful game. It was like Better Smite, pretty much. It was beautiful, great graphics, everything. But they actually shut it down, and this is the salty part for all the Paragon fans. And is they shut it down, and when they did, they said they were literally shutting it down so they could focus more of their team on developing new skins for Fortnite. And they told their fan base this, and then they said there was no chance of it ever coming back, and then they literally open sourced all the whole game for somebody to recreate because they weren't going to. And so that's another part of my reason to do Fortnite. And at the end of the day, anyone can play Fortnite, but it's nice to be able to do something that not a lot of people are doing as well.
Yeah, that's true, because like almost every time I go to your stream, I see either a game I've never seen before or a game that I haven't seen in a long time. Like, you were streaming For Honor a few days ago.
That's
I
actually
haven't
one
seen
of
that
my
in a while.
biggest. Yes, it's one of my biggest communities. Fun fact, and this is the fun fact about For Honor. One of my first 24-hour streams. Don't ask me why I did it. I was a young streamer, and I was like, "Woo, 24-hour stream, let's go." Don't ask me why, but one of my first ones was when For Honor went to the Games with Gold program on Xbox, and it actually has the record. I think I started the night with 200 some followers, and it has the record. I think I peaked at 80 viewers, and it has the record for being one of my all-time high viewer counts. And I've always managed to find a couple diamonds in the rough in that community, and I love the community and the people in that game.
Yeah, I'm sure as like as a variety streamer, you see like a lot of different communities that you're kind of like bouncing in between.
Yeah, it's also one of the aspects of variety streaming. People, some people look at us variety content creators and they go like, "Oh yeah, you just have ADHD. You just don't know what to play." And it's more than that. It's kind of juggling what we want to play, but also what our viewers want to play, or what our viewers want to see. And part of that, at least for me, at least a while ago when I was putting in unhealthy amounts of hours in the streaming a week, was making sure you bounce the right amount between all the communities. And it definitely became a mathematical horror show at some point. But yeah, it's definitely one of the most invigorating things about variety streaming, because you see different people every single day for the most part.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Oh, it is 100% exciting, and it definitely leads to new experiences, because I think there are still people who have been with me since the beginning who have yet to meet each other, which is the other double-edged sword about it.
Yeah, I can see why that would be a thing.
Yeah, because everyone's got the games they want to watch and the games that they don't want to watch, so you tend to get a different crowd every time.
So speaking of your community, since we're on that topic right now, how would you describe yours? Like, if you could just, I don't know, just say a few words about how you feel about your community.
They're all meanies. No, I'm kidding. Stop making me play horror games, guys. No, I'm kidding. What's the word for the world's largest dysfunctional family? Because I love them. They're great. There's definitely some days where I know some of them. Some people will get on my nerves. Some people get on each other's nerves. But what's a dysfunctional family without people who rub each other the wrong way sometimes? They're great. It's definitely a unique bunch of personalities. I couldn't ask for any other people. It's definitely great. I was talking about it, just a minute ago. Seeing as many different people in because I don't a lot of streamers have what they say this I don't know like a base group, like a solid like 200 people, like they're guaranteed to see every week or whatever. I've never really had it, so it's fun because you'll see somebody come back after 3 months and half the chat will have no idea who this person is, but then the one person who does is like, yo, how you been? Oh my god, you're back. And it's great because it's kind of like a new experience for everyone. And I don't know, they're great. They're a rascally bunch, but they're a rascally bunch who pushes filters, and they push filters and they get on each other's nerves, and sometimes they make each other mad, but at the end of the day, just one big dysfunctional family.
Man, that sounds like a
their group.
I don't know how to respond to that other than like that sounds pretty cool.
Their group. I couldn't ask for anything different, And you know what? From the outside in, sometimes sometimes some of them look like the biggest around. And the flip side to that is, if you ever, if someone was to ever actually hurt someone in the community, you'll see it's happened a few times. You'll see them flip so fast in the family mode where they're just like, we got you, you're going to be okay here. You got us. So you don't get to see it often, but when it happens, it's kind of heartwarming. And they've even done it to me one or two times. I get emotional sometimes, and they just flip on a switch, and they're like the world's biggest teddy bears.
Well, that is sweet.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to pivot back to your content again. To
Okay.
talk more about how you came up with like the name Salsasaurus and like the branding that you use with dinosaurs. Is there a reason behind that?
It's a fun fact. Salsasaurus was actually just my gamer tag. It was just happened. It was just my gamer tag. And the story behind the gamer tag, I actually don't get credit for the name. Fun fact. It's not my name. I didn't come up with it. So one of the few people I still talk to from my schooling, it's my buddy. His name is Cheezosaurus. So we've been friends for probably about 10, 11, 12 years now. And I had a phenomenal string of bad Xbox gamer tags. Phenomenal string. I mean, we had names in there like Economic Sky. It was phenomenal. So after my latest, I just want to switch. I'm gonna get new name, fresh name. We sat there in a party. We were both in probably high school at this point, probably sophomores or juniors, maybe freshmen. One of those 3 years, and we were sitting at a party, and we were just trying to think of names. He's like, "Why don't you become a Saurus?" Because he's had Cheezosaurus ever since he made his Xbox. So we were sitting there, and I think one of us uttered the word Salsasaurus, and we sat there and we laughed about it just because of the way it sounded, because it just rolls off the tongue. And we just sat there and we laughed about it for about 10, 20 minutes. I said, all right, I'm doing it. And then I changed it that night, and it's just kind of been with me ever since. And then when I made the jump to streaming, it kind of just, it was just that name that kind of like it felt like it could be a brand. And dinosaurs obviously seemed like the correct jump. I love dinosaurs as a kid and now. I love Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, so it was kind of easy. It was kind of an easy 1-2 for me. Um, and plus, I love my dinosaur branding. It's another thing, not a lot of people do it, so
Yeah, it's definitely very unique.
yeah.
So have you had any have you met any new like old mixer partners that maybe are not even partners, but like old mixer streamers that have made the switch to Twitch?
I have. I used to live in my own little corner of Mixer. I didn't really I think I talked to probably pre-partner, I probably talked to probably like 3 people that streamed. Post-partner, I kind of got a little bit more out of shell, but towards the end I kind of went back. I really didn't talk to much besides the people in my community, but the first week or so, I probably talked to more people I've talked to in the entire time I've been streaming times like 5. And a couple of those I've actually started watching the streams pretty much every day or every other day. I don't talk as much because I don't know. I'm one of those people who just I kind of lurk and watch and enjoy. But yeah, no, I talked to people like Super Cheeto, who's a really cool dude, and and just a couple of other people, and I just kind of started a new chapter. But yeah, no, I've talked to a couple people since the downfall.
Well, that is awesome. Glad you're getting out of your shell, man.
Yeah,
Or,
me too.
or should I say, what's kind of skin did dinosaurs have?
Egg.
Out of your egg, yes, because you use the egg as your sub icon.
Yeah.
Well, then that's still shell. Man, the pun opportunity is ruined.
We can bring it back. We can bring it back. No, we can't. It's gone.
No,
I don't know. I don't know where you were going with it.
I was gonna make like a dinosaur pun based on like because like your thing is dinosaurs, but like I was gonna say hide, like coming out of your hide, but I'm just like, what kind of skin did dinosaurs have? Because we don't know.
Some people will tell you scales. Some people will tell you feathers. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just confusing.
Yeah. Who knows? Guess we'll have to pull a Jurassic Park and bring all the dinosaurs back. Sorry, guys. Gonna have to do it. I need a T-Rex.
Clever girl.
Raptors. If you bring raptors back, I revolt. I refuse. No raptors. Have we not seen Jurassic Park, people? No raptors!
But you want a T-Rex?
Yeah, well, T-Rexes aren't smart.
Have you seen the new Jurassic Park?
We don't talk about those.
Actually, I haven't either, so.
No, I love them. I can't wait for the third one. I guess I'm one of the. I'm a sucker. I guess just give me dinosaurs breaking out. Give me a dinosaur action movie, and I'm a happy little kid. So, I guess maybe I'm just a sucker for it.
So. If someone asked you for advice on how to build a community, what would you tell them?
Ooh, that's a hard one too. Pretty hard questions. Best advice to build a community: be yourself, kind of. I don't know. I feel like so many people kind of go into this whole streaming and community building experience, and they're like, we have to do it the established way. You got to do it with one base game. It's got to be a popular game, and that's how you do it. And I really don't think that's the advice I give. I think the advice I'd give is to be yourself. Make the stream make the stream about what you want and what you have fun doing, and people are going to see your energy, and people are going to follow you for that energy and for you. Um, so just be yourself, play what you want, and be able to do what you want with your stream, and the community will follow. It might take a while, and it might take longer than you think, but when you have it, it will be the most rewarding thing you will ever have.
Yeah, community building is definitely hard, but it's very rewarding. I can definitely agree with that.
Oh yeah. Going back to my comment earlier, because the bigger the community, the more conflicting personalities you have, but you learn to love them, and you learn that what you have a growing amount of people who have your back no matter what, and it's the most rewarding, one of the most rewarding feelings that you will ever have. 100%.
Awesome. So out of curiosity, are you working on anything right now?
Ooh, I'm working on a couple things. No, I don't know. I'm boring. I don't really have a lot going on. The biggest thing I have going on for me right now is I'm getting ready to make a shift, not really in focus, but a shift in learning, I guess is the way, because I want to expand my content over to YouTube. So I've been trying to teach myself that, and I have a plan for that and what's going to happen, and I think I have like 10 videos cut up already, ready to go.
Oh wow.
So I can take like a 2-week break from editing when I do go live on it, because I used to start as my first ever goal at content creation was in high school with a Bandicam, an old Zoo Tycoon 2 disc, and Windows Movie Maker. And that was my first go at content creation. I remember how much editing sucked.
Hey, don't diss Windows Movie Maker, man. That stuff it was the premier editor.
Hey, I'm not dissing it because I'm still using it. So, all right, we're just not going to talk about it. When Sony Vegas Pro, who I use Windows. All right, judge me harder. Life on a budget. All right.
It works, man. I'm not gonna judge.
It works. So yeah, I got YouTube going on, and I'm looking forward because I'm gonna be taking my channel on that back to my tycoon roots, and I got a couple for me that are gonna be logistical hell to do, but I have a couple of really fun ideas to start that as well, along with a couple things to tie it into the stream. So that's all I'm really doing right now. Other than that, I'm boring. I just sit there and stream.
Well, YouTube is very exciting. I'm curious what what like your strategy is for that. If you really have thought that through. Like
my strategy for YouTube.
Or...
My strategy for YouTube is the exact opposite of my strategy for streaming.
So just like sticking to one game, and
my strategy for YouTube is definitely going to be niche. And it's going to be niche tied in with the stream. And that's just because that's what I want to do on my YouTube, and I know it exists there more so. Because you can ask anyone that does it. If you can grow consistently every day on a game like Planet Zero, Planet Coaster, and any streaming site, you're a legend. It's just there's something satisfying about watching this 10-minute long video that's sped up to the point of like 3 times of what it was recorded at, and just watching this massive thing come to life in 10 minutes. I don't know why. You don't understand the satisfaction until you go and do it and you watch it, but I guess that's why. It's just satisfying to watch.
Well, that's good. Because like a lot of people tend to like not have a game plan at all whenever they go into making YouTube content.
That's still me in streaming. I still have no game plan. I'm just kind of here existing. But some people have asked me like, "How'd you do it?" I was like, "I don't know. I just kind of winged it. Here we are, 2 years later.
Well, you
No
wing
team."
something long enough, and eventually it might work.
Yeah, actually, we'll start winging it for 2 years. You start getting into winging it patterns, I guess, if you can call them that. But yeah, no. So YouTube's. I talk about YouTube this way a lot. You know, you could say Twitch is a different beast than Mixer, but YouTube's an entirely different beast. It's a whole new form of content creation. It's a whole huge, big, scary world of getting your video, getting people to click on your video and watch it. It's a whole new strategy, and
Yeah,
it's a
I
scary
would say it
world.
requires like more effort to succeed on that platform than it would be like on Twitch or Mixer, because there's just more to take into account, you know?
Say more effort. Um, I wouldn't say more effort, and I will say this, and this is the big reason I will say it doesn't take more effort. It takes more physical effort, I would say, to succeed on YouTube. It takes more mental effort to succeed in streaming, because the one big difference that YouTubers have that us streamers don't is we don't get to edit out our bad moments, so we kind of have to live with them. So
Yeah, you do it live.
yeah, we do it live and for everyone to see our bad moments. So it definitely takes a mental control to stream.
I would definitely agree with that. Um, unless you happen to be streaming on YouTube, in which case you're still streaming, so I guess the same rules still apply.
Oh, then well, it's still the same rules, but I think it's harder at that point because you see they see video side of you and then say stream you, and some people might compare, but I don't know. That would be hard for me to stream on the same platform. Well, I guess that's the same. I guess it's the same if you were to stream on Twitch and post videos on YouTube too. I don't know. I just feel like that's hard.
Well, I mean, you're doing like multiple things at once. It is definitely hard,
Oh yeah, well definitely that.
but it seems like you're having fun with it.
You gotta have fun with things. It's the one good thing one of my few good things my father taught me is you gotta have fun with life. If you don't have fun with life and you're just sitting there trying, if you're just sitting there and not having fun with life, I don't really know how else to put it. You're not really living your full life. You gotta have fun with it. Gotta find a way to make everything fun. You'll be 10 times more happier.
Oh, definitely. Those are wise words.
Hmm. He doesn't have a lot of them either. Doesn't have a lot of them, but he has some. He has some. Give him that.
So to not make things awkward,
Oh
I think
boy,
that's
awkwardness.
yes, awkwardness. The part I get to edit out because this is a
Hey,
podcast and I can still edit things.
woohoo! Editing.
I think we are just going to end it right here. It has been awesome to have you here. Do you have any like closing thoughts on everything that we've discussed so far?
I don't think I do. I don't think I have anything.
All right. Well,
Rather than thank you for having me, and thanks for being a beautiful soul, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
all right. Thank you very much for being here. It has been awesome. Also, thank you for that compliment. My ego will thank you for that later.
Just don't let the compliment out. They don't come freely.
Oh no, I'm keeping that in. My ego will not let me delete a compliment.
Make a little clip of it.